Hello, and welcome to the continuing adventures of an old noob. Here, on this, I'm back. I've got 300 subscribers, so let's do a Q&A special. Yes. So, first of all, let's start getting some resources together. While I say a big thank you to absolutely everybody. You've all been stars. Now, for those that don't know, I disappeared a while ago, about 8 months now, and gosh, it has taken a long time. If you want to know everything that happened, I do have a video out about it. It's called I'm Taking a Break. And that break was a lot... God, I forgot how to play the game. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Basically, I had an operation, and there was a chance that I wouldn't be able to do much afterwards, speech-wise. And now, as you can hear, I was really, really lucky. And after some recovery time, I think my voice is basically back to what it was. What do you think? Let me know. And while I was gone, I gained some subscribers. I think at the time that I took a break, I think I had 180. But now I'm over 300. 310 recording this. So I wanted to do something for that, and I wanted to do something for being back. I thought a Q&A might be a good way to go about it. I can hear the sheep. I just can't see the sheep. Ah, here's sheepy, sheepy, sheepy. Crit. Let's just find a couple more so I can make a bed. Okay, bed for sleep in the night, boat for travelling. Before we get into the Q&A, I really want to go out of my way and say a big thank you to everybody who went out of their way. I was really quite worried about everything, and I didn't tell anybody. I've met some really, really genuinely nice people on this journey, and I just kind of left. I literally released the video saying I was taking a break on the moment I went into surgery. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell any of the bounders that I was playing with. I felt really bad doing it that way, but I didn't want the lead up. I just didn't want anyone to know or to say anything. It was all, it's hard to explain, but I do feel bad that I left everyone in the lurch, and I want to try and make it up to everyone. And the fact that people kept in touch, asking how I was, reached out to me, put up with all my cheese posts over Christmas. You're all such great people, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Everybody that kept in contact, everybody that continued to watch my videos, all the new subscribers, even though you knew I was taking a break. Thank you. And I did try to release a couple of shorts when I was feeling a bit better, and I've done some no commentary tutorials, and people have commented and watched them. Carried on supporting me, and thank you. Thank you all so very much. And with that, let's get into this Q&A. So I half expected to be absolutely no questions, or it'd just be questions about my operation. Well, I was wrong on both accounts. I got a lot of questions, and none of them were to do with my operation. Oh, look at that. Abandoned portal. Cool. So, let's get into the first one, which is from Kalandra. By the way, I am going to absolutely muck up everybody's pronunciation of their names. You just went to get to Jera the Wizard. First question by Kalandra. She asks, have you missed doing voiced videos? And the answer is yes. Yes, I have. But I'm back now, and I'm hoping to start making regular content again. I have really missed it. But that being said, I can't lie. I am really, really nervous. It's been such a long time. It took a lot for me to press the record button. I've been Oh, I really have forgot to play this game. No. There we go. Yeah, I have been procrastinating and putting off making this video. Hello, friend. But I pressed the button and here we are. So hopefully everything goes okay. Okay, new day. Kalandra goes on to ask, what are your favorite things about Minecraft? Wow. That's hard. Minecraft for me is a game for everyone. If creative building's your thing, then Minecraft. If exploring is your thing, then Minecraft. You know, if technical stuff's your thing, then guess what? There's Minecraft. You can play with others, you can play alone. You know, Minecraft's pretty much got it all. And that's why I like it. You know, it suits everybody. And we could do it together. And, you know, it's really good making content with it as well. You can make storylines, or you can just go at it and do whatever, time lapse, no commentary stuff. Oh, it's just such a sandboxy game. Oh, and continually updated with free content. You name me one other game that's been going for 10 years that has a free content upgrades. I can't think of any. Kalandra goes and asks, do you ever build in creative mode? Yes, all the time. Originally, I started in creative mode because I really wanted to get my daughter into computer games, and I'd heard that Minecraft was good for that kind of thing, like a gateway game. Kids loved it, so we got it on the Xbox 360 and we gave it a go. But she didn't want to do survival, so we started off in creative. Once I branched off on my own, obviously I wanted to go into survival. As I started making content, I wanted to make sure that my builds looked okay. So I do them in creative first, have a mess around, make them look how I want them to look, which is pretty easy in creative because you've got used to infinite amounts of blocks instantly, and you can break things instantly, and you can fly around. And then I like the challenge of trying to make it in survival. Plus recently, I've been doing some no commentary build tutorials, and I've done those in creative. So yeah, I do build in creative and I love it. Okay, Kalandra also goes on to ask, what's your least favourite thing in Minecraft? Now, that's quite hard because I generally like everything in Minecraft. So I think it's more of wanting more in the game. Like the food system, I think could do with a bit of an overhaul. Like, okay, so I've got lamb, well, mutton on me at the moment, and I can cook that and make it cooked mutton. Same with cows, I can get steak and then I could cook it. There's milk, there's crops, there's all sorts, but why can't I make cheese? I'd like cheese. And then I'd like to use the bread with the cheese and make a sandwich. And I've got steak. Why can't I have a bacon and cheese sandwich? We've got pigs. But yeah, I think that's my least favourite thing is the food mechanics. I think they could do a bit more with it. Food craft. That's what I want. Kalandra also asks, if I decided to move back to Derbyshire, would you help me, please? Yeah, why not? Yeah, of course. Okay, moving on from Kalandra and her great questions. Let's go and see who's next. Right, I'm doing these in chronological order, actually, how they appeared on my Twitter account. And there's a nice plug. Follow me on Twitter. I talk nonsense there. Okay, Obsidian Tree would like to know, what is my opinion on foxes? Please answer correctly. I'm going to combine this with the next question, actually, and you'll see why. Survival Mike. Mike's a good chap, you know, really is a nice guy. Mike would like to know, what's your favourite animal and why? Well, I hope this answers your question, Obsidian. My favourite animal is a fox. I love foxes. I really do. But why, do you ask? Well, let me introduce you to the animal that I would love to be my spirit animal. I mean, just look at him. Oh, wow. Okay, and on to the next question. By MegaBubfish, my old dinnercraft buddy. MegaBubfish would like to know, did you remember to floss your teeth this morning? Wow, MegaBubfish, asking the hard questions. I'm going to tell you the truth. No, I did not floss my teeth this morning. It's not something that I really do. I've got quite sensitive teeth and gums. That's probably a bit of an excuse, and I probably could do it now. But when I was younger, I gave it a go, and I really didn't like it. So it's just me and my toothbrush twice a day. If that grosses you out, I do apologise. Okay, next question. Oh, it's a set of questions from Retro Hub Shop. They want to know, what is the first game you played? Okay, you want to talk retro? The first game that I remember playing was Pong on the Atari 2600. We had a Woody, you know, the one that looks like it's made of wood. Gosh, I love that. We had Pong, we had Centipede. Next question from Retro Hub is, what's the last game you played? Okay, well, not counting Minecraft, the last game I played was actually BioShock Remastered. I got it on the Epic Store for free, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I wouldn't mind playing that through again. So I put it on for an hour, and I haven't played it since, because Minecraft is life. Retro Hub's final question here is, what is your favourite game? Minecraft? I mean, do I really need to answer that? Okay. Next set of questions is from David Manners, also known as Mr. Frogger. And David asks, favourite food? Okay. My favourite food is cheese. All the cheese. Yes. If you follow me on Twitter, shameless plug number 2, over Christmas, you probably would have seen that I had one of those legendary, always see on the internet but never actually seen one in real life, cheese advent calendar, and it was epic. I even posted every day over Christmas each one I opened. I enjoyed it. Don't know if anyone else did, but it got a few people talking to me. Thank you. David goes on to ask, what is my favourite film? Favourite film. That is a hard one. There's so many I like. I mean, there's Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I like a film called The Crow. Oh, Brandon Lee and The Crow. Awesome. I like Flatliners, Gremlins. The list goes on. Wait, I know. This is going to make me sound super pompous, so be aware. When I was in uni, I sat in on a film studies lecture. And during that lecture, it was to watch a, I don't know, avant-garde or left-wing short movie. I don't know where it falls in history, but it was a 1960s film, and it was mainly shot in black and white photos, so all stills nearly, and it was called Le Jetée, and it just spoke volumes to me. It's only about 20 minutes long. It's a sci-fi story, and it's shot in such a simple way, but the story is just phenomenal. Go give it a watch. Okay, I'm sure you can find it on the internet somewhere. It's probably on Google. I'll have a quick look myself. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description below. It's really good. Really enjoyed it. Let me know if you've watched it and what you think of it. I'll be really interested to know. Really interested. And David wants to know my favourite activity. Spending time with my children. I think that's my favourite activity. I've got a young daughter and I've got an adult son. And I love just spending time with them, doing what they find interesting. That's my favourite activity. Spending time with my family, definitely. I mean, Minecraft's pretty close behind it. If I had to give one up and do the other, then I'd spend time with my family over everything. My favourite build in Minecraft. That's an interesting question. I think my favourite build in Minecraft is by a builder called andyisyoda. He did a build that is a fortified house, and he does it over 3 videos. He does one video of how to build a fortified house, and then the next 2, he just makes it more and more elaborate. And I love them. They were the first build tutorials I followed. It started because I started playing in creative with my daughter to get her interested in computer gaming. And she really wanted me to build a castle. and I'd never built in the game before. I tried doing a stone block and putting a tower next to it, and it looked very bad. So when she went to bed, I did my first ever Google search on how to build something in Minecraft. And I came across andyisyoda's video, and I built it. And in the morning, when my daughter turned on the Xbox, there it was as soon as she loaded in, and she was amazed. And I told her, I said, I followed a tutorial on how to build it, and she was, wow, so blown back by it that I'd followed a step-by-step guide on how to build it as well. And then each night she went to sleep and I carried on building the next part. And every morning it was, have you done more? Have you done more? And she got so excited to see what I'd done. It was awesome. And I put it all down to andyisyoda's build. It was amazing. And it actually got me interested in building and trying to build new things for my daughter to enjoy. Hope that answers your question. Okay, and David goes on to ask, how did you get your IGN? How did I get my in-game name? You really do want the Flazzerty origin story. Okay, in-game name. Right, so my in-game name is based on a nickname I had at school. Some people have always had difficulty pronouncing my last name, okay? I won't tell you what it is because, I don't want to. So it got shortened. And then people mispronounce that. Oh, my word. Look at that. That's amazing. Almost like a crescent. Anyway, getting distracted. So, yeah. So that got mispronounced. Sorry, I lost my train of thought then. So it got shortened some more for some unknown reason. Until it didn't really have much to do with what the original name was. Oh my God, look how far this goes down. Oh, and there's an abandoned mine shaft. This is my first proper go in 118 terrain. So, yeah, bear with me. Right, what was I saying? Yeah, it got shortened again and didn't resemble the original name at all. But I kind of liked it. I'd never met anyone else called Flaz. It was fun just having a name that no one else really had as a nickname. And then in the early days of the internet, when it asked for a username, it was straight away my nickname from school because it just made sense. But as the internet grew and more people came on, then I was finding it harder and harder to have the name Flaz. Other people would have it before me. It first started with World of Warcraft. I was one of the early people into it. No expansion packs or anything. It'd only been out a few months when I decided to subscribe. And I put in Flaz, and unfortunately, somebody already had it. Turned out to be an Alliance dwarf. I was a bit gutted, and I had to try and come up with something else. And as I wanted to be an undead warlock, I wanted to sound a bit magical. So I incorporated my nickname and made it a bit special sounding. So it was Flaz A Mataz. And I really liked it, but it was a bit of a mouthful. But obviously, everyone shortened it to Flaz, so it was fine. And then I made a few more characters as I was going around, testing out different characters when I got a bit bored of the Warlock, who was my main all the time. And then I had to go at being an Orc Warrior, and I couldn't come up with anything witty for Warrior. So I just, after typing in Flaz, I just kind of randomly smacked the keyboard. And lo and behold, I'd actually tapped the middle of the top row, and Urti kind of stuck out. So the first incarnation of Flazzerty was actually an Orc Warrior on World of Warcraft. And then after that, every time I tried a different game and I couldn't have Flaz, I typed in Flazzerty, and nobody ever has Flazzerty. Yeah, so that's how I got it on Minecraft. Flaz was already taken, so I typed in Flazzerty, and here we are, a few years later. Okay, the next question he's asked is also, baby creepers, yes or no? No, never. I mean, baby zombies are bad enough. Can you imagine a fast-running creeper? No, It's hard enough to spot them as it is, all being green and everything, without them coming along and running at me before they blew up. No, you're quite all right, thank you. Okay, so this brings us on to Hoodie. And he's asked, are you becoming a talk show host, Flaz? I mean, no. Have I got the voice for a talk show? What about a podcast? Could you imagine? Could do a podcast interviewing all the people on the community that I've met over the years. I'm not sure that will get many listeners, to be fair. But you never know if there's a calling for it. Flazzerty podcasts. Okay. Next question was from Jera the Wizard. Oh my God, please say I pronounce that right. Please say I pronounce that right. They want to know, what's your favourite Moody Blues song and why? Now, Yara and me have a thing about the Moody Blues. They were kind of excited to know that I knew who that band was. So I'm not surprised they've asked this question, to be fair. I'm sorry. You're probably going to be really disappointed in me. But I think I've got to go with the classic Nights in White Satin. The song, the vocals, the music, the melody, everything about it. Every time I listen to it, shivers down my spine. Love that song. And now on to Salty. Yay, we get potentially hear you again. Oh, they said they miss my voice. Is it really that exciting? Is it all you'd hope for? It's all I'd hope for. I'm so glad I can actually talk. MegaBubfish called it buttery. I'm taking that as a compliment. Although I don't know what a buttery voice sounds like exactly. Anyway, Salty asks, what is the most interesting and memorable interaction you've had with an animal in your life? Well, I've had a few. Some really gross. I mean, no, I'm not even going to. So I'll stick to a nice one, I think. When I was younger, we had a cat. Really beautiful tortoiseshell cat. And she went out and she got herself pregnant. And like all cats, just before giving birth, she decided to make herself a little nest, and she went where she felt the most safe. And she decided she was going to give birth to the kittens underneath my parents' bed. A little bit disappointed, but it was okay. So my mum went downstairs to make herself a cup of tea because she thought she was in for a long night. And when she came up, the cat wasn't there anymore. She told me afterwards that she was searching high and low of where the cat had gone. She was really worried about the cat giving birth on her own. And then I woke up to hear this strange, heavy panting and a mew every now and again from underneath my bed. I got out of bed. I was in one of these tall cabin beds, like a bunk bed, but with a desk underneath, not another bed. And at the back of the desk part, all in the corner, was our cat. She'd already given birth to one kitten. And I was lucky enough to see her give birth to the second. And that's where she stayed. We believe that when my mum went downstairs, she followed me into my bedroom. And that's where she felt safest, which I was really chuffed with that. I felt very honoured. And I do now when I think about it, because I was only little. All right, next question is from Swarmee. Waffles, pancakes, crepes, or southern US biscuits and gravy? This one is not hard at all. Biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy. Made me a man. Yeah, biscuits and gravy every time. I mean, the first time I tried them, I didn't need to eat for the rest of the day. They were so filling. American massive scone-like things that they call biscuits, and this rich gravy made of double cream, I think it is, and bits of sausage meat, and oh mate, every time that. Okay, on to Glitch Gaming, and Glitch wants to know, what is your favourite board stroke card game and why? I love board games and card games. They are a third of all my favourite things, and I think my favourite board game, without a shadow of a doubt, has got to be Carcassonne. Love that game. If you don't know what Carcassonne is, it's a tile game, and you've just got to build castles and build more castles or bigger castles than all the opponents. And there's farms and there's expansion packs to it, and there's trading and all sorts. But essentially, the base game is just building castles in this tile game, and you kind of put them together like puzzles. Oh, it's really good. I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, it's quite hard for me to talk the rest of the family into playing it. I played it with other people, but, you know, I don't live with other people. I live with my family. The family favourite game is a game that I've had since the 80s called Junior Dingbats. It's essentially like Ludo. You go around the board similar to Ludo, except there's like different spaces where you have to pick up a card and answer it, but the card will be a puzzle. Like a well-known saying, but it'll be backwards, or it'll be flipped over, or it'll be mirrored. Like they might do square box, and outside of that would be the word think. So the answer would be think outside the box, that kind of thing. It's a fun game. If you can find a copy of it, I think there's an adult version as well. But if you can find a copy of it, get it. It's fun. It really does mess with your brain. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Right. Next question is from MadPete, living up to his name. And Pete wants to know, chocolate, should it be served cool and crisp from the fridge, or warm, soft and sticky from the cupboard? I know which side of the fence I'm on, but I want to see where you plant your cocoa-based flag and if you're a degenerate. Pete, I'm sorry, but I don't have a definitive answer for you. Sorry. I'm kind of a mixture. Like on a hot day, I prefer it from the fridge because the last thing I want is like a melted gooey mess in a wrapper, and when I want to eat a bit of chocolate. But that being said, colder times like autumn and winter, I prefer it out of the cupboard. You know, I want it to be soft, easily melted. If that makes it me a degenerate, yeah, I'm sorry. But main thing to remember in all this is I'm not actually a big chocolate fan. I'd rather have cheese. Now we come on to Sev's questions. These should be interesting. Sev's first question, because there are many, is what's the weirdest question in your Q&A and why is it Bubfishes? Bub asked about my oral hygiene. You know, nothing too weird about that, I guess. It's not the weirdest one, I don't think. I think there has been weird, or there might be weirder coming. Okay. Sev then asks, invisibility or flying powers? Well, I think out of the two, it would have to be flying powers, because invisibility, I mean, okay, I'm all invisible, but when I eat food, will that be? Or would you see it like entering my mouth, being all chewed up when I swallowed? I mean, before it, you know, becomes part of me who's invisible, surely that wouldn't be. So you'd be able to see me swallow and drink and eat and it churn around in my stomach until it became part of me. Ugh. No, I don't think invisibility. So flying, you know, that could mean that I could just go anywhere I wanted. I'd be as free as a bird. I could just get up and fly. Yeah. Oh, I fancy going to Spain. Let's fly. Or would it exert me as much as running would? Because I don't run to Spain. But, you know, a quick fly to the local shops to grab a bottle of milk might be handy. Yeah. Flying. Definitely flying. Not invisibility. No. Seth's next question is tacos or kebab meat on a pizza? What? What? Okay. There is no pizzeria near me that does tacos, but they do kebabs. So I'm going to say taco meat because I don't like kebabs on pizza. I've tried it. I don't like it. But I do like the idea of spicy beef because we have that and that's what tacos are. Spicy beef, I guess. Yeah, so we'll go with that. What would you buy if you won the lottery? Asks Sev. Well, that's easy. I'd just buy a big enough house with land to house my family. I'd have a nice house and I'd have a nice house for my son. And then when my daughter came to age, to be a nice house for her. And yeah, that's what I'd do. And in my house, there'd be a soundproof, fully working, everything that I need studio. If you were the moon, what would you do? If I was the moon...
I'm the moon, the original moon.
Are these questions PogChamp? I'm going to go for yes on that one. Okay, the final question is from Nubberslaw. And Nubberslaw would like to know, what's my favourite build that I've done? And could I answer it underwater? let's go find some water, I guess. Okay, Nubs, this one's just for you. I think my favourite build that I've ever done is the and they're fixing all the world into anything ice. And it's answering on the Festus and Nintendo. So I hope that's answered your question, Nubs. And that's all the questions that I had. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody that sent in a question. Thank you. And what does this mean now for my channel? Well, only time will tell. But I do mean to make regular content again. And I think the best place to start doing that from is here. I'm finally back. I'm finally home. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.